So today on Project Shop, we got a lot of scrap to go through. Shop's kind of clean, man. Well, kind of. We're cleaning up a little bit. We're getting there, but we got Oliver over here, master electrician. He's actually, hey man, would you say you're going back to school to be an apprentice? He's going to apprentice school, so he's got to work during the day and then go to school at night. He's going to be the universe's best electrician with all the schooling he's got. Anyway, we have so much scrap to go through. I just scored a new customer, and the first scrap load I got from them was massive, well over $6,000. We got clean copper coils, we got more clean copper coils, we got aluminum coils, we got more clean copper coils. So all this stuff here is just a buy and sell deal. I'm not going to make a ton of money, but I don't have to do nothing to it, so that's good. And we got some aluminum coils, we got an entire bin. This bin was so heavy, my scale, which only goes up to 2,000 pounds, wouldn't weigh it. I had to peel some off. So we have a ton of AC compressors, hopefully some big fat boys in there. Hopefully we don't run into too many aluminum ones. We have some electric motors. Oh, I like that pulley. Oh, that's a bigger pulley than what's on my oh, the shaft ain't big enough. I was gonna say I could run a big monster pulley on the wire stripper, be stripping twice as fast. We got more motors, AC compressors that we pulled out, another stack of, oh look at that, bought some copper with the aluminum. Anyway, and then we got a whole bin of #2 copper, which I could probably upgrade a lot of this to #1. I mean, look at that. A little snip. That's #1 copper. A lot of this can be upgraded. I don't know if I'm gonna have the time to do it, but I might dump this out and upgrade it just to level it down, because I have a bunch of copper to pull that we can add to the #2. So we have that. So basically I can make a little money upgrading that. Definitely going to upgrade all this by processing it. Hopefully we make a decent amount. And then this is just one of those buy and sell deals. Hopefully we do pretty good. I wasn't sure on the price of the aluminum ones, and the guy was really nice, man. He worked with me and was like, you know, just come back and if there's a difference, whatever. So, and a lot of the stuff we didn't even know, like we didn't know the tear weights on the pallets, so we kind of just guesstimated them, and the guy was just really nice, man. So that was my first big AC scrap buy from a actual AC contractor. So hopefully we can start getting into more of that. And he says he's got a guy right behind his shop that's another big contractor, so maybe we can go over there and make another contact. So who knows, it's the beginning of my AC scrap journey, and you guys are along the ride for this with me. I really wish I would have started YouTube when I started with the electrical contractors and building that whole table. And for those of you who don't know, I call the table the Copper King. If you heard me mention that, I'm never referring to myself in like the third person. This whole table, the 2 wire strippers and the 2 hydraulic presses, is what I consider the Copper King. And eventually that is going to get mounted down there at the end with a big 4x8 steel plate, and then it will be the ultimate copper recovery system. But for now, me and Oliver are going to crack some transformers. Then I'm going to get the pump set back up over here. Unfortunately, we're sharing a pump, and we're going to pull some copper, man. Big nuggets. We got big nuggets coming, and we're going to put this to use. I don't know if I'm going to do it tonight, today. Might be a tomorrow thing, but we're going to cut all them AC compressors. Might even go live and do it. I don't know. But we're going to have a copper marathon going on over here. We don't have We don't have any copper buckets right now. That is a big no-no around here. All right, so we don't have a lot of transformers, but some big nuggets in here. I thought there was some more of these big ones somewhere. If we find them later, I'll have to just do them by hand because I'm gonna take the pump off. My old friend here. Fortunately, you don't get that much play anymore. About these 1500 watt transformers, 99% of the time they're double copper. Alright, so we're going to have to take this test. Back of the hammer. Get it out. Put it on the edge or something. Hammer it down. Okay, that way, out, okay. That hurts the hand. Fortunately, that's not all prepared steel. But anyway, got our first little nugget of the day. Actually, Oliver was over here doing some micro scrapping earlier. I had a ton of these little tiny transformers, and he did a good job, man. I mean, this stuff weighs, man. It may seem a little tedious, but once you get in a good rhythm, it actually goes pretty quick. And I had him cutting some coils. Made a little mess. Hey, man. So what you're gonna have to do is sweep this up and get the magnet. Run the magnet over this, pull the steel out of that copper, okay? So we'll get that cleaned up, and then going forward, I'll show them how to put a tray under here. I like to put, matter of fact, here it is right here. It's my fault for not telling you. You put a tray under here with like a bucket, so everything gets caught right here. He'll get it. He'll be the best copper recovery electrician you've ever seen here shortly. So now we're going to change gears. I'm going to pull that pump back over here. I'm going to put Oliver back on these transformers. Check this out. I got some track lighting in here. Some really nice looking stuff. And it had all these. Oh, he's already pulled the transformers out. Oh, these are it right here. So they had all these heavy cast aluminum ends on it, and then each one had a big old transformer in it, which was nice because I got that track lighting for free. And then I pulled out all the inserts. Some of them came out really easy. I already pulled most of the copper out, but there was double, one single, and then two doubles. A lot of them came right out. These ones were a little hard, so I stuck them here. But that track lighting, man, it's high dollar aluminum, and as long as you don't bend it up, you got to try to keep it as straight as possible. One Phillips screw at the end, and then I just tap the end with a screwdriver, or a lot of times it'll just come right out. And I was tapping these on the ground, and it started to pull out. You can see the little copper came out. But these come right out. You get high dollar extruded aluminum. I get over $1 a pound. I threw that in with the bright and shiny. I got bright and shiny for that at $3.85 a pound or something like that. You know, and then that cast, and then the transformers, the number 2 copper. So we're getting a nice little chunk out of that. What are we looking for? Magnet. Oh, the magnet's right here. Sorry. I was out here cleaning up. Gotta clean up just so I can make another mess. The magnet's right there, man. So, all right, I'm gonna get set up on the next deal, which is this beautiful mess. And then I'm gonna have to start condensing this stuff down a little bit. I think what I'm gonna do is take this massive pallet. Look at that. That is one big coil all the way across the bottom. So I think what I'm going to do is, because I got to figure out what the tear weight is on that pallet, I'm going to pull that thing up, get it off of there, tear the pallet, and then I'm going to stack all 3. I'll restack this so I get all 3. I don't know, maybe I'll just leave it the way it is. As long as I can fit all this stuff on my trailer. I'm going to have to condense this down a little bit. I think before I empty that big bin, which weighs over 2,000 pounds, I'm going to pick it up with a forklift and set it down on here, and then I'll pick it up and I'll set it down on there and kind of crunch those down a little bit. It's funny, this guy showed up. He had one of the littlest straps holding this stuff down. Anyway, all right, we're gonna go back to copper recovery. All right, just so we can establish a baseline here and why I love transformers. I don't even know what that was. 15-20 minutes worth of Whoa. And we gained 72 minus 7. So we're talking 65 pounds of number 2 copper at, like, I want to say number 2 is $3.50 a pound. So we did $227. Now that might be lowballing the price there, but $227 in 20 minutes. And a lot of those were half aluminum, you know? So just imagine double coppers all day long. Like, I did a video years ago, how to make $900 an hour processing copper transformers. And, you know, the machine pretty much operates with double copper transformers about $1,200 an hour profit. There's just no profit like double copper transformers. Now, I'm rusty. I barely do transformers anymore. But when they come in, I still make decent money on them. You know what I'm saying? So we got a good little start. Now we're just going to keep filling this bucket. Oliver did some micro scrap, and he's going to continue on that. I'm going to get set up. We have we got some brass and brass breakage. I'll clean that up even more. We'll pull some copper out of that. We're gonna probably by the end of the weekend have a decent amount in that bin, or I might have to, I don't know. I'm on the fence about that bin. Like, I got to get it back to the guy, so I got to get a tear weight on it. Anyway, we're gonna wade through this sea of scrap and start getting more copper in the barrel. I got the copper fever now, and you know, we want some nuggets, man. That's just a taste. We got a little taste there. 72 pounds, 65 pounds, whatever. Yeah, we need 700 pounds, which it's not going to be too hard once we start pulling them big nuggets there. All right, we're back at it. Oliver left and Steve showed up, so that's a plus. Now, some of this copper, I dumped it out because I needed to get a tear weight on that bin. But look at this. Straight up number 1 copper. So, whoop. This is going to be our number 1 copper bucket, and then we'll use this for the number 2 copper. I don't know how much we're going to get into this or how tedious we're going to get, but a lot of this can be upgraded to number 1 relatively quick. And if you're savvy, when you cut this stuff and you keep your coils separated, half of these are number 2, and then half of them, I can't even find one right now. I guess this whole side is, you know, half of them are actually number 1. So as you're cutting, if you just keep that in mind and cut over here and cut the other one over there, you'll have 2 separate piles of this stuff. Now that is kind of getting into the micro scrapping territory, but, you know, you got nothing better to do. Every pound counts, you know, and every, you know, what's it, 10-15 cent a pound difference. So depending on how far you want to go with it, you can upgrade most of this. I did a video where I went through with this and I upgraded so much of this into a number 1. It was like literally 90% or maybe like 80% I turned into number 1, because I literally cut right around all the things. And you know, depending on, you know, how far you want to go. I don't know how far we're going to go with this. We're going to basically condense this down so it's not a big bird nest, and just pull out all the easy number 1s. And then I don't know what I'm going to do with this. This is probably all going to go in number 2. But we should have a, you know, our 70 pounds or 65 pounds going to add up pretty quick. And then we're going to get on to some bigger and better things. Okay, it's actually going pretty good. It's not really taking that long. Once you get in a good groove, you're just kind of cranking through it. Now I want to show you why I used to do this more often than I do, but I'm doing it with this because there is some big pipe in there, and this whole pile is pretty much getting condensed down to this little thing and what's in this drum. I want to show you what you're potentially leaving on the table. Okay, so they would buy this all day as number 2 copper. Now whether or not this is actually worth it, it all depends on, like I said, your time and what you got going on, and you know, how far you actually want to go. I'm going to do it over here. I just want to show you, out of all of this, how much number 1 you could actually get out of it. I'm just going to cut it in half to make it easy. And when I cut it, I'm going to cut it on an angle for a specific reason, and I'll show you here in a minute. So we're going to cut all these ends off. And then we're going to go and cut all these off. All right? Crank up some music and just get in a kind of a groove. Get yourself a drink or some smoke or whatever you're into, and just go to town. Now, the reason I said cut it on an angle is the solder is literally only on one side. So you have like all of that is not number 2. And when you cut it on the angle, okay, you come back and then you just cut the little nip off. Okay, you cut it on an angle like that. Okay, and then you come and you basically cut the little end off. Okay, and you're cutting way less of the number 1 and more of the number 2 out of there. Okay, and I'm going to show you here. This is a great example of how much number 2 is actually in there. So out of all that, oh, we forgot one. I'd say that's probably 85, almost 90% was number 1 copper. And just that little handful, little nuggets, was number 2. And I was able to actually just cut, by cutting it on an angle, I was able to cut basically just one side and actually keep the back side. Now, it really only matters if you're into micro scrapping, or you got a ton of it you want to clean up, you know, really quick. And like when you have a big mess like this, it's always, for me, easy to just find a spot and cut it in half, you know, just so you're not dealing with such a big piece. And then just go to town, man. That's all clean number 1. Clean number 1. And like, those are really close, and that's a thick pipe. But if you really want it to get in there, cut it on an angle, and then you just get in there and nip your little piece. Look at that. Okay, I mean, you could actually get in there and micro scrap that even more and cut that off. But you know, we ain't going that far with it. Have the jaw out here, but the jaw is kind of slow when you're doing this, and that's it. Now look what we did. All number one, number one, and then that little bit of number two. Again, it's your preference. Me, I get in a good groove. And, you know, it just goes kind of quick for me. So, I'm going to give me a drink of water. And, we got a crazy mix going on here in the shop. Let's see. Upchurch, Tom McDonald, Aaron Lewis, Yellow Wolf, POD, Sublime, NWA, all kinds of good stuff. We're just cranking it away over here. I'm gonna restart it. Okay, so we pretty much, I don't know, I'll cut it in half with the jaw. I want to see what's inside of it. He said it was some type of valve or something.
Open her up, big boss.
1000 PSI. So we condensed that whole entire big bin down into half a drum. Basically, we turned that into half a drum of number one copper, clean copper, minus the bus bar, that was mine. And I do have some more number one copper that we can add to this. And then we have this whole thing. This is solid. This probably weighs as much or more than the drum. It's just pretty much full like that. There is my transformer steel on the bottom, or transformer copper in the bottom. But now we're moving on to this dirty brass and brass that I had bought along with all that stuff. And I'm just gonna cut the copper, you know, and upgrade some of this a little bit. I get over $1 more a pound for the copper, so might as well clean it up the best I can. And for that, I'm gonna use the jaw. My go-to. Now, Steve's taken off these caps, which have brass on the inside. I cut one of them in half That I'm just gonna send as dirty brass. It's kind of crimped on there. I could probably work the jaw a little bit on it, but we're just gonna send that as dirty brass breakage, all these caps. Oh no! What? It didn't like that. No. That's aluminum. Look at that.
Yeah, it's a manifold. Those were good fitting.
They were.
Yeah. Do two of them at a time. Come on.
It's already dangerous enough, dude. Trying to get this thing good. I should be wearing glasses around this one, dude. That actually wasn't bad. Now, I need to upgrade my pump, man, because this thing should be running twice as fast, maybe even 3 times as fast. But we added a nice little chunk to the number 2 copper and liberated pretty much all the brass now. Piece of copper in there. We'll let that slide. Throw it in there with a cast. So all that I'm going to consider clean brass. I have some more clean brass to add to it. That'll be dirty brass. I don't know if I have any dirty brass, but hey, if I come across some, yeah. And then this stuff here, these caps, some of them screwed off, And then, oh, I don't know if that's stainless or brass. We're just gonna let it slide. This is gonna go in with the prepared steel. If I don't have a bucket here for now, we'll get it. I'm gonna clean this up, clean the bench off, get this set up for electric motor processing. I want to try to go through all of the scrap that I picked up today. I want to get it processed. And so right now, the only thing left is the electric motors and the AC compressors. So I'm gonna bring in the 2 barrels and the 1 barrel compressors. We're gonna get them to start draining. I'm gonna kind of get that system set up. And I'm probably gonna move some of that stuff and position that a little closer to the door, so that fan can really be sucking, you know, right out the building. I might have to go get another fan. I did burn up that small fan over there, so that might be heading to the scrap yard, but hey, it is what it is. So I'm pretty excited about running the AC cutting machine, putting some actual time on it, and I'm gonna start keeping track of these compressors and the model numbers, and when we come across one that's aluminum, we're not going to do those no more. We're just going to buy them and sell them. And same thing with the squirrel fan or the motors like those. I think what I'm going to do is prep them, maybe knock one end off of it and check a coil before I go too far with them, and then throw them in a motor bin. I'm on the fence with this thing here. I really like to open it up, but with the heavy base and all that, I think I could get more money just as an electric motor without touching it. I don't know. So I'm gonna get cleaned up, and then I gotta finish this over here. I'd really like to knock the rest of these out. This is like micro scrapping, but I want this stuff off the bench. And there's a little bit of weight of copper in here, you know? But I believe going through the scrap I have outside, I'm gonna find more of these small transformers, so I'm gonna hold off on that. We're gonna worry about the big stuff. Get that out of the way. Man, look what Steve just brought. I don't think I've ever seen a steak that big. Look at that thing. A tomahawk. That thing's massive. What? 2.3 pounds. Wow. We're having steaks. I pulled a little a steak, grass-fed beef steak, out of the old freezer we got going on over here. We got all kinds of stuff down there. So we're gonna have a little barbecue. I don't know, man. I have a couple things I actually need to put in the incinerator that I've been kind of holding off on. We might have a copper barbecue later, but for now, what I'm gonna do, I wanna see, since this bin is so heavy, it's over 2,000 pounds. I'm gonna see if I can't put it on top of this aluminum and get it down. So right now, it is above this, above that. Let's see if we can't squeeze it down a little bit and maybe condense it so we can, you know, start saving some room. What do we got? We got 4 pallets of, no, 3 pallets. That's aluminum. Okay. Yeah, I might, depending on how all this stuff fits on my truck and trailer, I might have to condense all the copper coils to 1 pallet. He did give me a big, where's it at? One of these pallets is just absolutely massive. That one, it was like 2 pallets. So all of them coils might get put on this one. But for now, let's squash some aluminum. I'd say that worked out great. We got it below that now. I'll do them too, kind of crush them down. These I don't think it's gonna do anything, but yeah, I'm gonna, oh, hey, a little bonus. I'm gonna move this stuff over here, kind of get it up out of the way. And then I'm gonna start pulling electric motors. I think I have some more over there. And I'm gonna create an electric motor barrel for all the ones that we're not gonna process. And we don't have, I mean, other than what I bought today, we really don't have much scrap yet. I'm trying to get all the scrap out of the shop. Like, there's no need for the scrap to be in here and me moving it around. All right, man, we got a sea of motors. Now, as I was putting these up on the table, I could just feel the weight difference on some of these. Some of them, like these older looking ones, feel super heavy. These ones feel light. This one I already scraped. I can see that's aluminum. So I'm gonna figure a way of checking these before I pull them apart, because if they're aluminum, we're not even gonna process them. We're gonna send them. I got a bin I started somewhere over here. Couple motors down in there already, not much, but I'm gonna just throw them right in there and sell them as motors. They're not even worth processing. We'd actually be losing money. So I got the things draining, a couple of them. I'm gonna have to get a better system. I'm gonna need a big table with a trough where I can have like 10, 15, 20 of them draining at once, because I need to move. I can't be waiting on these things draining out, and they take a while to drain, man. They'll just keep dripping. You know, we want to get them drained as much as possible. So that's going to be it for me tonight. It's getting kind of late. I need to wrap things up and start bringing stuff in and securing everything. So tomorrow is going to be a big copper day. Today kind of got away from me with the guy coming over, and then I had to leave and go do some generator stuff. But tomorrow is going to be all about pulling that copper. I'm going to finish those transformers. I just feel like I need to get them out of the way. And then we're going to run through these. We're going to determine which ones are going to be worth it. I think anything smaller than this, I just don't think it's worth the time opening it, splitting it, and pulling it. This size and up will do it. But this shit, like this stuff here, I'm just gonna cut the cord and send it, you know? So let me know. We'll weigh this bucket tomorrow. Let me know how much copper you think is in here, and let me know what you think is in this one. I mean, we did okay on copper today. I mean, it's probably a couple 100 pounds. I'm pretty sure it was 200 pounds I got from the guy, and then 65 pounds I already had in there, plus a couple little stragglers I threw in. So that should be like 270 pounds between the two buckets, I'm gonna say. Or yeah, maybe 270 pounds. But I got a lot of other stuff done too that I kind of did off camera. But anyway, I'm kind of crashing out. I ate that steak and some corn, and that's pretty much it for me. So if you've come as far, thanks for watching. Stay tuned, man. We're gonna have a massive motor breakdown and stator breakdown, and hopefully we'll get through that whole entire gaylord of compressors tomorrow. I'm just gonna keep cutting them. I'll set the machine up. Hopefully the plasma cutter lasts, because I'm gonna be putting the best arc to work tomorrow. It's gonna cut stators, it's gonna cut AC compressors, it's gonna cut motors. Definitely gonna have to up our plasma cutter game if this is something we're gonna do, because I can't, every time I use that Chinese thing, I'm just waiting for it to blow up. So we're gonna have to work on that and get some production done, man. Kind of streamline this. Definitely gonna have to rearrange the shop a little bit. This, I'm thinking I'm gonna have to put outside, or at least have a fan sucking the fumes. I mean, it does create some fumes, even if you drain them. Not a big fireball and a smoke show, but, you know, I'm thinking I'm gonna have to put either enclose this a little bit and have a duct work sucking out, or something, because I just don't want to be breathing that if I'm doing a lot of this stuff. I can see it possibly making me or someone sick, and I don't want that. I just want everything to run smooth, and you know, that's the goal, and we'll get there. But for now, I'm going to sleep. I'll tell you where we're going, right to the scrap yard. Dancing. You ever seen your copper dancing before?